Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, yep, still out on my deck because I love it. But let's have a look at what we can for today. So, what is it we can see that the divine masculines are working on most at this time? Balancing out. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel for only the highest and most beneficial information. What is it we can see for the DMs? Comfort, hearth, the energy of home. Oh, they're really just reveling in everything that this 3D dimension has to offer. They're really loving children, loving animals, loving the nurture, loving family, loving the grounding. This is really attuning to the things that are blessings and unique to this dimension. I mean, that's a very cosmic way of putting it, but it's a bit surreal that way because they're feeling, from what I can tell in this energy, they're feeling the splendor of these things. It's coming alive. The idea of just how unique it is to be a human and getting to experience all this stuff. It's like it's taking on a otherworldly kind of feel. It's all becoming quite miraculous. Okay, so that's balancing out. They're not taking for granted these things. This is an 11 card. It's not just a bunch of things moving in front of their eyes anymore. It's really taking on a surreal energy. As we become more spiritual in a material world, we're seeing just how miraculous the material world actually is. How sacred. That's balancing out. So all of the things that the masculines took for granted before are now suddenly extraordinary. So it's an inner alignment that is changing for the masculines. It's not something that they're chasing externally anymore. It's this inner vantage point that's balancing out. What are we seeing for the feminines? What are the divine feminines balancing out? Inner core as well. So there's this entanglement on the inner level and beginnings. There's a beginning of this peace, receptivity to allow what is to be fully felt, an inner knowing, an inner receptivity, depth into the core. There's this anchoring feeling for the feminines. That is so beautiful. It feels like there's a growing sincerity and a growing appreciation sinking in. Okay, so today I'm going to do a reading for both the feminine and the masculine. We're going to get some emotional, let's say 5D and above, emotional, conscious mind, and physical realm, and see how those things are balancing for each counterpart, each polarity. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the energetic, the emotional, the conscious mind, and the physical realm for each of the counterparts? How is that experienced at this time? What's going on in the connection for each polarity on these levels? What's balancing out in the twin collective at this time? What are the masculine and feminine polarities processing on the planet right now? This is so cool. I love doing this. My goodness. Oh, we had a mystery card, Death Rebirth, Death card. So this is the deck I'm using, and this is a random card. So there is a transformation. That's a confirmation. The Death card is sometimes a birth, rebirth. Okay. So things coming back around, the cyclical nature. Generational things. There's a generational torch being carried. And the ancestors are saying that they are going to be given the recognition that they deserve. Okay, let's get into the energetic level. Communication in the 5D. So this is about intentional telepathy. See how this person is quite aware of this idea that's going to be presented or possibly coming towards them, but it's more of a sending out. So this is the energy that we're sending out. This is conscious telepathy, consensual telepathy. Yes, you can actually ask your counterpart for their consent to have a telepathic conversation. They're very productive when you do get the consent, and it's not always assumed that they are going to be consciously receptive, but if you do ask them, try it out. You may be surprised. So we're talking about energetic connection here, communication. How is the masculine? Ooh, 3 of Swords and 5 of Swords. Look at this. There is something that hasn't been talked about. I'm getting this as a secret. This is a frustration, some anxiety that the divine masculines are getting up the courage to talk about energetically. On my table, this is actually from the masculine polarity towards the feminines. And so, yeah, there is something that the divine masculines want to, I heard, come clean with. There is some guilt and shame I'm feeling in this card. About the heartache, about the pain. I'm feeling that they are seeing, the divine masculines are seeing through some of their actions and knowing that it came from a place of pain and wanting to make sure that you understand that something from the past came from an imbalanced place and that they were not necessarily, trying to be rude or insensitive or hurtful, but they now see that they behaved recklessly, I'm hearing. So what is this communication in the 5D energetics for the feminines? Clearing the confusion and trust. So yeah, divine feminines, there are a lot of questions about whether your divine counterpart is conscious of certain things, being deliberate with certain things in certain regards. So this is more accountability that the divine masculines are expressing, and this is a trust building. So divine masculines, your divine feminines do trust your sincerity, trust your integrity, trust your honesty, but they are confused about something as well. So this is warranted, it looks like. So that's balancing out. So oh, what the heck, let's get some advice for everybody watching on each of these levels. So what can we know about the energetic connection and communication on the energetic level? Temple of suspended endings, holding space, standstill. So this is why there might be a standstill at this time, so that these energetic things can be communicated. Twins often work things out on the soul level rather than hashing them out in the 3D like a karmic situation where it can get messy and unconscious and muddled. Portals, possibilities, and options as well. So this is where new potentials can come in, because the twins can agree and sort things out energetically, and then that opens up new opportunities in the physical that can't move forward. So I've noticed on this journey that if there are things that are imbalanced, the 3D doesn't gel. In karmic situations, it's incredibly easy to get an incompatible enmeshing thing happening, codependency, all of that. With twins, it's impossible to come together in those energetic terms. And so we have to work it out. on the energetic levels in order for the 3D to be aligned. This is an alignment reading, so it opens up the potential to come together, and there is this grace period, a holding space, until these things are sorted. So this is saying that there are a lot of things in the collective that are being balanced out in the energetic realms right now. And I'm hearing as our faith in the energetic realms increases, we're learning these skills of communication, we're believing in it, and we're seeing the results of it more so. More people are waking up to how we can sort things on that level rather than have war in the 3D. Beautiful. So this is like, it's a consciousness expanding motion as well, that the twins are actively engaging in, because it is a truth. What is the emotional level here? The card of truth goes from the Knight of Swords to the King of Swords here. This is the protection. So emotionally, let's see, emotionally there is this peace. It is a balanced motion. It is a protected motion. This silver bubble is a mirror of protection that allows for the safety. This is on the emotional level. So how is that playing out with the masculines? The devil and anxiety. Wow. So anything the masculines have been putting out there that has not been on the up and up, accountability. This is why the masculines are feeling the need to be more impeccable with the feminine, because in this connection it is a perfect mirror, and anything the masculines have tried to get away with, carpet sweep, ignore, take a shortcut, their conscience is really coming to the forefront here. They are feeling personally convicted regarding the things they thought didn't matter. It's suddenly taken on a very sincere angle. What are the feminines experiencing on the emotional level? They've been doing the work, and they've been looking at things in terms of miracles. These two rainbows are the masculine and feminine. We're on the same team. We're coming in at the same angle, but there's a little bit of distance here. So divine feminines know that they've been doing the work. They're continuing to do the work to balance out. There is a general sense of teamwork and focus that way, amicable energy, intuitive knowing that unconditional love overcomes any obstacle is what I'm hearing. And so that is the feminine's truth. Because the divine feminines are so aligned with that high priestess mercy, humility, we are the rock. We are the foundation of that. That is the feminine leadership. Non-action and allowing for mercy, humility to reign supreme, I just heard, in the priority scale. And that is what is sharpening the divine masculine's conscience, because the divine feminines are that highest standard for you, divine masculine. Nothing less will do. When you have a divine feminine in your life, you will become an impeccable masculine. Wow. Okay, what is it on the conscious mind for the twins? Ooh, passion. The Ace of Wands, the Ace of Flames. So this is the soul spark, but also the most phallic card in the deck. This is a passionate new beginning, the idea of wanting to come towards each other in an intimate way, on a soul level, possibly in the physical, sexual, inspired. This is an ignition that happens only with purity, with true connection. This is the conscious focus, the desire by both twins to have a pure connection. As we've been doing the work, we are refining. This is the refining fire as well that does not lie. Our minds, bodies, souls, emotions, we've become an instrument, a barometer of the energies, and this spark cannot light if there is any false thing. And so consciously we will each know. And when we talk about coming correct, it does not necessarily mean knowing the right words to say. It means being in the energy of alignment. And so this is a conscious proof now. Both of the twins are understanding what that really means and that it cannot be faked. How is this playing out for the masculines? We get the Queen of Cups, the unconditional love, this standing the test of time of the feminines. The Star card is the destiny, the path. This can mean in the reverse that there is a more immediacy coming in. It's more directly applicable, more accessible. This compassion of the feminine is becoming more desired. This can be a card of not wanting to have any longer waiting, closing the gap. So the sexual pull, the passion, could be lighting the fire into the masculines to come correct, fess up, set the record straight, clear the air. Because of this desire to be in the love of the feminine, to experience it in a physical way, in a close way. What are the feminines experiencing on the conscious mind? Isn't that beautiful? One of the cards we had to begin with was standstill, suspended animation and holding space. And we get standstill in the reverse for the feminines here, and love with the twin flame caduceus. So divine feminines don't want this standstill to last any longer. There is a magnetic pull, a sensual pull drawing the counterparts together right now. Neither of them want to wait any longer. This is a mutual desire, a mutual passion. This is the sacral chakra, the orange as well. And there is a profound conscious pull between the twins right now. What is the physical realm? Ending the burden. And that is the Ace of Flames here. There are many obsolete options, choices, karmas, paths, and one viable energy here. So in the physical, all of the other paths have been exhausted, and both twins are realizing that the life force energy is to be found towards the counterparts. How are the masculines feeling that? Making changes in the physical. For what? Same Ace of Wands. You can't make it up. It's three times right here. The masculines want this sensual connection with the feminine. That is a very obvious and primordial draw. And divine masculines, you're balancing out things. You're no longer juggling. You're choosing to come towards this, because it is such a sincere knowing that that is the next step, the only viable direction to go. And it's causing you to really step into purity on an impeccable level, because you know that this connection won't stay lit. Not with the divine feminine, if it is not pure, if you don't bring your purity to the table. Wow. I just saw what we get. And we get inner peace again. Inner core with this dove for the feminines. Peace, the symbol of peace is this dove, and it says inner core, and then we get inner peace for the feminines. So much alignment. But we have the Four of Wands in the reverse, which is union, 1111. So sunny. So inner peace, right? There can't be union if this is not 100% pure, and divine feminines will sense that. If that peace is not there 100, feminines will know, and so the standards have raised. Divine masculines, you're inspired to be 100%, and divine feminines are geared and calibrated to know if it's less than 100%. 1111%. I stand corrected. Yeah. So this is interesting that the calibration is coming into this level of purity. Let's get a card for the masculines. Advice here. Autonomy. You have nothing to lose, divine masculines. So autonomy, self-fulfillment, non-reaction. It's not so much you preparing to be perfect for your feminine, although that's the added bonus, because you will have this connection like no other when you come into purity with somebody who can actually validate whether you are in purity or not, because their whole body confirms it. That is very much icing on the cake, but it's for you. It's its own reward, because it becomes this noble thing. And your feminine is the one that will understand and be able to confirm this noble thing. You also got Chamber of Initiation. Exactly this initiation, the spark that's lit, that stays lit, the holy fire. Spiritual gifts, mystery, enchantment, and secrets. So this is a great secret revealed of life and righteousness, purity, that it is its own reward, because it is like no other. It's not an easy task, not for the faint of heart. It is mastery, because it is so ultimate, so pure. And on that journey, all the secrets are revealed. The spiritual gifts come alive. 55 changes. So this is a switch from thinking that the spiritual was mundane or not as attractive, to it all coming alive in ways that add such splendor. It's becoming addictive, I just heard. It's becoming life-affirming and alive. The aliveness of it is coming alive and becoming addictive. That river of life, the spark of life, the aliveness is what all addictions are the counterfeit of. It is the flow that everything else is trying to emulate. And spiritual strength, virtue, and valor. Exactly. This is your testament of overcoming. It is its own reward. This is a 33 card as well. So that is a mastery and working with the interdimensionals, the angelics, the otherworldly perspectives. This is a 77. Oh, you divine masculines, you got 77, 55, 33. High fives. Okay, and divine feminines, what can we see for you? Orion Stargate, power, authority, influence, and ambition. You have come into excellence, divine feminines, and this is going to be its own reward out into the world. So divine masculines, you are being rewarded with spiritual, energetic, emotional purity and recognition. Divine feminines, you are being rewarded with external material abundance and recognition as you influence out into the world. And the heart is awake, love, innocence, and reverence. exactly. This is a humble motion of reverence, and you are being called into activation into the world because of the qualification of your heart. And it is also the qualification of your heart that is qualified to know that your masculine is in this alignment. And so it is coming into the vicinity of this. It's something that cannot be faked. Much love, everyone. Bye for now.